Top of the morning, Dan and in front of me, Jay. This morning, John Cass. Get his work now at johncassnews.com. You can also get the Chicago Way podcast there.
It's all free for now.
Free for now. But, you know, the guy's got to make a living. He's got to pay Illinois property taxes.
After all, as Don Barzini said, we are not communists. Although my former employer is selling theirs for, I think, 8 cents a week.
That's way overpriced. They're going to have to cut that. And that's not the only thing they'll be cutting. But I digress. We were talking to Andy Kroll, D.C. bureau chief for Rolling Stone magazine, at the end of the last hour. He reported earlier this month that, per confidants of President Trump's, he has made the decision that he's announced he's made, but the specific decision is he plans to run again. He wants to run again. And this punctuated over the weekend by Mark Meadows, his former chief of staff, saying he has met informally with his quote-unquote cabinet. And think about $102 million in the bank. Think about President Trump leveraging at least some of that money, plus his personal popularity within many circles, to help Republicans win congressional and Senate seats in the fall, and the fall of next year, of course. And were Republicans to take control of the House and the Senate, with McCarthy in the House in particular as Speaker, what a springboard that would be for him to announce in early 23 that he's running for re-elect.
Better if Jim Jordan were Speaker, but I digress. Yeah, I see where you're going.
And, if Hillary Clinton can run twice or 3 times, she certainly wanted to run a third time. She had worn out her welcome losing twice. He's 1 for 2.
If Lori Lightfoot can even consider it, running again.
But after a loss, why not? Why can't Trump come back and run again?
Because Republicans want to win. And I think that's where, I don't know. I understand the wattage and all that, and star power. And I am worried that the combine wing of the Republican Party, the Cheneys, Adam Kinzinger with his crocodile tears, people like
Pierre Delecto, small wing.
Yeah,
small wing.
It's a small wing, but they have money, and they'll try to reshape things, and that disgusts me. But
but he's sort of.
I think Republicans want to win, and they want a horse that they know is not damaged goods.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 646-36DA, turnkey.pro text line. Simple question, as we stand here today on August 2nd of the year 2021 AD, are you inclined to push Trump to run again? Do you want to see Trump run again, or do you want to see him be a kingmaker? We ask this question intermittently, but, you should, because there's so much that's transpired over the first 7 months of the year. And where we find ourselves right now, because, these are contextual questions. At this point in time, who would be best to do what you would like to see done at the federal level? Besides
Dan Proft campaigning and saying to everyone, again, that he was born a poor black child.
It would be fun.
Which I never stop laughing about that.
Tom in Blue Island, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Dan, I know I've been pretty adamant that Trump's running again. John, big fan. My heart just fell listening to you saying that, in essence, you think Trump is going to be forced out by the Adam Kinzingers and Cheneys of the world.
I didn't say that, Tom. I said,
okay. I know. I just
want him to win, and if he doesn't run, what I worry about is the combine boys, all of them. Anyone in Illinois knows what they are.
To that, John, I would, and you guys both touched on it. I'm willing to accept Trump is not the president. I'm not willing to accept he lost. And I can still envision the T-shirt saying, let's win it 3 times in a row. It'll be like a new three-peat from the Chicago Bulls.
Mm-hmm. But do you want him to run again or not?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Dan. He's the face of the Republican Party, and that's why the Kingingers and Cheneys hate him so much.
Thanks for the call, Tom. I mean, if not Trump, then
hate him.
You could have somebody like DeSantis, who has a lot of Trump's
How
attributes
about Tom Cotton?
and many fewer of his flaws.
How about Tom Cotton?
Tom Cotton, potentially.
Hawley. And then you run then you run into the other problem.
Senators. I like governors.
I know, yeah. Actually, J.D. Vance, but elect him first.
Yeah, that may be a little quick turn. I mean, plus he's got a lot to do in Ohio. I think. I mean, the closest to Trump would be DeSantis, but he just has a lot more polish and he's a lot more detail oriented. But that's not necessarily to say, and that's where I've been pretty much since the election, and since we started thinking about 22 and 24.
But you know what people want?
But
they still want. They hate the thing that the media, and I am a member, of mainstream woke media, because I'm so woke.
Yeah.
Is that the people who voted for Donald Trump wanted somebody to kick them where it hurts.
Right.
Not themselves. They wanted all these just the smirky. They wanted the smirk wiped off their faces.
Right. And
they're tired of them.
And where do you think those people are right now?
I think they're still with Trump.
Yeah, and I mean, do you think? But I mean, you want to see my favorite phrase. You want to see somebody bring that bicycle chain back to that playground, and
corn pop,
and I do, and this is where I get pulled the Trump way. So DeSantis is sort of a revenge being served cold. Trump it's being served hot and right between your eyes.
But as I see people lining up to weigh in, you point out basically a larger debate that's been going on in the Republican Party or on the right for a long time now, between the David Frenches of the world.
Yeah, well, that's
and
that's nowhere.
And others like Sohrab Armani, great editor of the New York Post editorial page, who basically says if you're going to fight, fight. Don't fight, don't.
Right, but let's just using this as an example. So DeSantis, I mean, and you could use Cotton or Hawley too, but I mean, DeSantis is going to fight in his own way. Trump has, a unique style. His is more like WWF, but he's actually landing blows. It's not fake. He's actually inflicting damage on the left, which is what needs to happen.
Like Gregor Clegane.
I just don't know if there's an instrument that's blunt enough other than Trump.
Might not be to excite.
And remember, this comes from somebody who was a Trump skeptic from the outset.
Well, I wanted Rand Paul. I didn't want Trump.
And I was Scott Walker. Tony in Downers Grove.
Hey, Dan and John. Hey, Dan, first, thanks for having Andy Kroll on, who, just confirms that he could bring zero perspective to the table. But he did confirm that, he hopes that the mandate could go through via businesses and other venues like that, unions. Well, that's already happening. As far as Trump goes, he has a great opportunity to be a kingmaker, but he's still a child. And I voted for him twice. Mm-hmm. And my fear is that he is going to run again, and there's going to be a lot of division, and it's going to take a lot to pull me back over to that side. So the question is, for someone like DeSantis, can he pull people like, well, he already has me, but can he pull people like the first caller you had onto his side that are showing zero objectivity because he's saying he can't accept the fact that Trump lost? So it's those people that you have to bring in. You're never going to bring in the QAnon, the strong QAnon people.
Yeah,
they're going to vote for Trump.
You don't need to.
But you have to get people like me, who are the ones, or people like me who didn't vote for Trump again, which is why he lost. That's the base part that caused him to lose the election.
Well, thanks for the call. I don't think you'd have a problem bringing people over to DeSantis' side, because I'm not sure DeSantis runs if Trump runs.
And the Democrats are doing their best to destroy themselves every day. Look at what's going on in Chicago. Look at what they're doing nationally.
Well,
every day they're doing.
Well, this
something.
is why it's so attractive for Trump to come back. To do "I shall return" MacArthur style.
Yeah.
And do it. I mean, what a story that would be. Remember, think about a guy who understands sort of a story arc in a entertainment perspective. I mean, a comeback win for the presidency after this disputed election and all that's transpired, and he sees a landscape that is fertile for it because the left has gone so far hard left, and as Andy Kroll was acknowledging, the positions on so many issues are underwater with the populace. So you can understand why it's attractive.
Actually, I noted it,
but I don't. Well, so did he. But I don't think that. I don't think you're going to have a problem if Trump doesn't run, because he's going to play kingmaker. And if he does run, if DeSantis ran and he somehow beat him, you'd have a problem getting behind DeSantis and as the nominee. I don't think many Trump voters would have that problem.
Appeal to his vanity?
It could. I mean, if he does, I mean, remember, we're still 3 years away. Still a long time. He's a guy in his mid-70s. You know, those are all issues. Let's see where everybody is 3 years from now. See,
the other issues.
Who knows? I may not be here.
Yeah. And the other issue is
time is promised to no man, John Cass.
Kamala Harris is not qualified to hold public office, let alone.
Well, I mean, to the extent that Kamala would be their nominee, and I don't think that's a foregone conclusion at all, that makes it even more attractive.
Right.
Nancy in Northbrook.
Hi, I'm going to say that I do not want Trump to run again. I don't think he had a very good campaign last time. It really wasn't. I didn't think it was a very good campaign. And I think his rhetoric after the election was really unforgivable.
Which part of the rhetoric after the election?
Saying that he won by a landslide.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, okay. Thanks for the call, Nancy. Yeah, I mean, I think that's criticism he's going to have to address, and the more he starts to get forward-looking,
the more we're going to find out about what he did to Mike Pence, throwing stuff in his face, all that stuff, which suggests to me that's not a personality. That's a personality you want in a fight, in a bar fight.
Yeah.
Almost kind of like earlier in the show, we talked about Verdoliak. Great tactical street fighter, bad strategic thinker.
Yeah, I think, I basically agree with a lot of the people. I mean, I've been critical of his personality too. I find some of the stuff that he does very sophomoric, unhelpful, counterproductive. Talked about it over his term as presidency and since. But maybe that's what, I don't know, maybe, I don't want to say America deserves, but, maybe this needs to be, something that is unseemly and in the mud. And if it's going to be unseemly and in the mud, who best to fight that fight?
Look at what they're doing in the January 6th commission.
I mean, look at what we've chosen.
Yeah.
So, this phony baloney stuff you hear from political hacks like Michelle Obama. Is anybody really interested in taking the high road?
What high road? They could take the high road when they have the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, not Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Washington Post, CNN, and all the other media that mocks people like you and me and those listening, those reading me, and so they can say whatever they want.
Yeah, but they're not taking the high road. They're describing a high road they're not taking. But does anybody really want to take the high road in America, in American politics?
I don't think so now.
Yeah, who were you really? Who is really promoting going back to sort of like Lincoln Douglas debates and all this?
Lincoln Douglas debates led to the Civil War. So, but I mean,
well,
look, the media wants Republicans to be like Bob Michael. Okay, they want Republicans.
I know what the media wants. I'm not talking about the media, but fold into everybody. Is there anybody who wants this firing line type of political culture? Does anybody really want that? They say they want it, but I don't think they do.
Well, the stakes are higher now. The stakes are that if you care about your child and that your 8-year-old little girl told by her teacher and her peers that she's a racist because of the color of her skin, that she's an oppressor, and you don't start fighting about it, no one else is going to fight for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We all live in broken homes, avoid houses of worship, spend much of our time alone staring at screens. Liberalism finally got what it's always wanted, a gaggle of detached and uprooted people, alone and scared witless, seeking solace and suspecting that someone somewhere is out to get them. Call it woke culture if you'd like, but it's nothing more than the Enlightenment's apotheosis. And it's exactly why folks everywhere from Warsaw to Wisconsin are voting for candidates who promise little more than a swift kick in the pants to the liberal order.
It's the liberalism, stupid, I think, right?
Yeah, that's Leo Leibovitz writing in Tablets. Very good piece. But I mean, if that's who we are, then what can we come to expect? What should we expect? What should we even desire, perhaps, other than Trump rooting around in the dirt with some, off-the-shelf neo-Marxist? Bill in Lincoln Park.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Mr. Cass. Hey, I'm not for Donald Trump running for president. Any guy over 68, I don't want them running. Obviously, look at the current guy in there in office. I get the argument back, well, what about Ronald Reagan? I said, well, Ronald Reagan had his head together, and plus he was out by the time he was 78. But besides that, Donald Trump can bring a lot of I agreed with a lot of what Donald Trump said. He said things that people said, yes, I understand that. I get that. And he said things that, like a Kissinger would dance around for 20 minutes on the dance floor, but Trump was like Pat Buchanan. He was just straight to the point, said it. Yeah, he offended a lot of people, but he drove a wedge straight to the point. Donald Trump can contribute endorsing a lot of politicians, a lot of people on the right into office, no doubt in the midterms in about less than a year and a half from now. But until then, I just don't see him as president, guys. Oh, and by the way, the Verdoliak thing was a great class in political science. Thanks.
Thank you, Bill.
Man.
Thank you, Bill. I'll post that. John and I talking about Verdoliak going to the joint again.
I guess so. Right about it.
5:38 hour. Yeah. So then you read JohnCastNews.com's take on it, and you can listen to our back and forth on it. We'll post that on my Twitter account. Alan in Rockford.
Hey guys, how you doing? I don't support a Trump rerun. Looking in the mirror as we should. My feelings are is we really lived a vicarious life of getting even with the bully, aka the left, and Trump did that for us for 4 years. It's time to get down to business. I agree with your opinion about DeSantis, a guy that's polished like that. And the thing I like about DeSantis is he's a learning individual. He sits down, he reads, he studies, and he really figures out what is the best tack to go forward. Whereas, Trump is an emotional guy. He shoots from the hip. And I think that really caused a lot more problems than it solved over those 4 years. And I just don't want that drama back in the White House again. We need to focus on the national debt. We need to focus on reining in the size of government. I mean, all this. Dan, I know people who are making six figures a year that are getting $250 a month for their kids. It's insane. It shouldn't be happening, and we have to get somebody in there like a DeSantis who can rein that all in and get back to the business of running the government to the benefit of the country, following the constitutional principles.
All right, Alan, that's a thoughtful perspective.
Thanks, Alan.
That's very good.
Thanks for writing my column for me.
I just don't. Yeah, but I don't. You and Alan, I don't think that's where the majority is.
I don't think so either. I've always been an outlier.
You rebel.
I was for Rand Paul, for God's sake.
And you were for Ron Paul before him.
No, I was not.
All right, Grant in Rockford.
Hello, fellas. Good morning. Good to hear your voice again, John.
Thanks.
I like Trump. I'm a Trumpist, but I have to say I think he's damaged goods. Just from the callers that are calling in, I'd vote for him again in a heartbeat, but he turned too many people off, and the media did too good of a job destroying his brand. I mean, I just can't imagine all the limousine liberals. They're just frothing at the mouth waiting to see him again. And they've destroyed him, so I could see DeSantis. I'm with you 100%, Dan. Trump was kind of our Batman in 2016. He wasn't the hero we wanted. He was the hero we needed, kind of thing. So I'd like to see a Trump-DeSantis rally. I think that would bring people out of the woodwork. And you get Trump off to the side, and life's good. So have a good one, guys.
Thanks, Grant.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560.